What's up, fish tank people? FishTankTV.com, Dustin's Fish Tanks, bringing it to you on a Sunday, baby. How's everybody doing? I hope you're doing well. In today's video, we're gonna bring you an update on Greenhouse 2.0. We're gonna talk about how I still don't have water, how I ran out of dirt, but how we finally got it up onto grade. But folks, it's Sunday, it's Species Sunday. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different species from one genus that you're gonna love. Okay, so first things first, we're gonna talk about Greenhouse 2.0 and how I still don't have water. If you wanna have aquariums, what do you need? You need water for aquariums, Dustin. Yep, and I don't have any water yet. But that's okay, because you know what? I wanted to put water first, but I'm gonna talk about why we still don't have water. Here's the deal. My original hasty dusty goal was this. I wanted to have water out on the field with 6-yard hydrants before I got it up onto grade. Look at this massive machine right here. Imagine if I had 6-yard hydrants that this dude with this massive machine had to work around. It would be a total nightmare, okay? I took my time, I went back, I asked Poppy, my father-in-law, I said, should I get it up on grade first? He goes, absolutely. Some of you all who are not, inclined to know what grade is, grade basically means you bring the building up above where any kind of water would be able to run into the foundation. I'm super simplifying that, and if any of you are engineers, drop me a comment or have questions on this, I can elaborate more. But basically they wanted to bring the level of the building up high so that if any water were to run out or whatever, it would run away from the building. If you built the building down low, obviously the water would run in. Oh, by the way, I'm gonna have a ridiculous amount of water in here, so this is important. So I took a step back. We decided to figure out how we were gonna get this thing up on grade. But guess what? I've never negotiated or worked with any sort of excavation in my entire life, so I had to figure out how to bring this up on grade, what it was gonna cost, and how to do it. I remember a cheesy quote when I was actually doing the concrete in Greenhouse 1.0 from a guy. He said something to the effect of, he's like, man, when you're building a building or you're building a greenhouse, it's just like a good marriage. You gotta start with a good foundation. And I heard that, and he must have said it like 500 times before, and I kind of smirked at him, but the guy has a point. Okay, so I figure I gotta go back to the drawing board and I gotta get it figured out how I'm gonna excavate this thing and bring it up onto grade. So I get with a buddy of mine who recommends a guy named Jay with Otta Excavation. I meet with Jay, I like his style. He's like, yeah, man, we can get to it. It'll cost you this much. I'm like, that's cool. He goes, man, you're gonna run out of dirt. Run out of dirt? This whole freaking lot is dirt. Like, how am I gonna run out of dirt? I'm like, yeah, we'll figure it out. He's like, yeah, man, you're gonna have to, bring a bunch of dirt in to get this thing up on grade. I'm like, all right, cool. Well, let's start. So I figure, we get to where we are and we see how much dirt we need. Let me tell you, folks, watching that first layer of dirt get scraped off is one of the most rewarding things I've done in this whole Greenhouse 2.0 project. It's pretty cool to watch him start tearing into it. He showed up ready to go. I didn't know we were really gonna start today, to be honest. I kind of hinted at it. He showed up with that thing and already had a bunch of stuff moved out the back. So I said, the heck with it, let's do it. My man Jay gets done excavating most of the surface. And guess what? The guy knows what he's talking about. He's right, we're out of dirt. It's like, all right, man, so what's the deal? Like, what do we gotta do here? How far off grade are we? Basically, he had enough dirt to get where I'm gonna have the pad of the greenhouse level, but not enough to bring it up onto grade and up high enough, which makes sense because again, we don't want water running back down into the foundation. We gotta get it up basically to the level of the asphalt of the street. We are 15 inches short of what we need, okay? We are 15 inches short of what we need to do. And I'm like, all right, man, so what do I do? He goes, well, we got a couple options. We can go and you can buy rock and they'll have it here tomorrow, or you can go around to job sites and find somebody that has dirt. And I'm like, all right, cool. And I'm thinking to myself, because I know everything there is to know about new construction, not really. I'm like, yeah, that's fine. I'll just go around and talk to these people. They should be able to just give me some dirt. So the deal with hauling dirt is actually really cheap, but it's actually getting it to and from places that costs all the money. So I got about like a 3-mile radius where I go around. I hit up 4 job sites. Let me tell you, nothing is more hilarious than a dude like me going up to dudes who are like professional excavators, builders, and that sort of thing, and asking them, hey man, y'all got any extra dirt around here? And the guy looks at me and goes, what kind of dirt you need? I'm like, well, I need the clay, the good stuff. He goes, nah, man, we got topsoil. I go up to another guy, I'm like, hey man, I got a site 2 miles up the road. I'd love to get some of this dirt you're pulling off here. He goes, looks at me, he goes, man, we don't got any dirt around here. All we're doing is scraping up bar piss. I'm not exactly sure what scraping up bar piss means, but I'm pretty sure he didn't have any dirt. So after going around to 3 or 4 locations, asking people like a rookie, you got any dirt? I came to the realization that if they did have dirt, they wanted it 75 bucks a load to load it, plus 75 bucks to actually have it hauled. That's 150 bucks a load. And I'm thinking to myself, that dirt's actually gonna settle. I don't know exactly what I'm doing, so I talked to my father-in-law and I'm like, yo, should I pay 150 bucks a load where I'm gonna need 70 loads of dirt? Or should I just have them bring in rock? I call up the quarry, which is close by. I'm like, yeah, ma'am, I need a quote on some rock. I need a 36 foot by 96 foot, 15 inches deep. She's like, okay, let me do some calculation. What you building? And I was like, yeah, you know, I'm building the greenhouse. I'm gonna have a bunch of fish tanks. And she's like, oh, I got 3 fish tanks. She didn't give me a deal, but she was excited because she does have her own aquariums. I'm like, yeah, how much is that gonna be? Honey, you're gonna need 207 tons. And I wiped the poop out of my pants. 207 tons. You guys ever ordered 207 tons? Let me break that down for you. A ton is 2,000 pounds. That is 414,000 pounds of rock. And guess what 414,000 pounds of rock costs delivered to my new location? About $4 grand. I say, yeah, I need it. How soon can you do it? She goes, oh, we can get it out there tomorrow. This is sweet. So we're gonna rock it. But it's Sunday, it's Species Sunday. I want to bring you 5 different species in the genus Alternanthera. We're going to start with the most difficult and work our way up to the easiest. We also have one of my best-selling plants involved in this. This is Alternanthera sessilis. I've only been keeping this plant for about 60 days or so. This is some stuff we just got in. You want the most purple plant? This is probably going to be one of them with the most purple color, with the exception of maybe the red tiger lotus. Generally speaking, the more purple, the more reddish a plant's going to be harder to keep. It's going to require more light, more nutrients in the water column. This one actually likes a lot of fertilizers in the water column. I haven't kept in a dirty tank enough to blow about that. You can see it's been growing above water here with these little buds or whatever, but it has new underwater growth, more purple. Alternanthera sessilis, the most difficult of all the plants I'm going to show you today. And my number 4 in the Alternanthera Species Sunday, talking about Alternanthera lyaceae, I believe is how it's pronounced. This plant right here, we're going a step down. We go from purple to a more maroon. You can see the tips of this here is more maroon. We've grown this out and it gets a more darker purple color as it comes in. More maroon, not quite as purple as that. This has been grown underwater. You can tell by all of the roots right here. There's no buds or whatever. Similar setup, not quite as hard to keep as the Alternanthera sessilis, but going to give you a more maroon look, but you're going to have to do a little bit more work for that. But definitely a cool Alternanthera, which moves us on to one of my favorites. This is Alternanthera renaki variegated, very similar to the one I'm about to show you next. The only difference is the variegation on this leaf. If you get real close, you can see how that leaf has a slightly different look, the variegated look to the leaf there. This has been clearly grown underwater with all the roots off to the side like so. But great background plant, is not like very demanding at all. In fact, despite the fact that it is a red plant, it's one of our better selling plants. But Alternanthera renaki variegated, it's just the variegation on the leaf right there, which leads me to this should be number 1, but it's actually number 2 here. This is just straight up Alternanthera renaki, okay? This plant is the bomb. takes like the abuse, still gives you that red look. Absolutely love this plant. I've actually got it growing wild in my yard from the scraps that we've grown. That's how hardy it is, and I want to show it to you in here with this little container as well. That's grown below water. Obviously, this is grown above water. Same plant. I haven't hacked it at all. You can see the little bud. Anytime you see a plant like that with the little buds in there, you know it's been grown above water. Same exact plant grown below water, grown above water. Just as a little bonus, there's Bacopa, there's Hygrophila, there's Estrellus, and there's Java Moss in the bottom of that. But Alternanthera renaki, oh my goodness, hardy. Likes a little bit of iron. Any sort of multi-fert will help you. Obviously, we got the growth juice, but this plant's fantastic. Plant it down in your substrate. It's a background plant. They do make a variation of it called Alternanthera renaki mini, which is a super fly tissue culture plant I used to get. I haven't had it in a while. That's very cool. And then the last one, super easiest, but not as sexy, I'm just gonna put it in next to it here, is Alternanthera renaki green. And it's just green. So you can see how they kind of crossed until they finally got the reddish plant, and there you go. But this is Alternanthera renaki. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 Alternanthera, actually 6 Alternanthera species on this Species Sunday. Do me a favor, hit the like button, subscribe button, share button if you care. If you care, you'll share. Drop me a comment on what you think about Greenhouse 2.0. Drop me a comment on what you think about these plants, and tank on. Later.